That's what most of us like to eat shito. And most of us use oil and then save it for the next day and use it. Yes. So, M3nsa.
Yes.
Well, you guys have been hitting people left, right, center. Make a punch you small. You've been telling people they are suffering from all sorts of issues. People having, is it popo generator all the time. You thank God you are not citizens of some countries. Today is my turn. You are welcome to the XYZ Breakfast Show.
Please, thank you.
Thank you.
But before you even continue,
Yes.
we are ashamed that we made that song because now we are even suffering more than them. Those people.
Yes.
Retraction. We have to change the song to "We are ashamed to be a Ghanaians."
I'll look out for that. I'll look out for that. We are ashamed to be what? A Ghanaian. Right.
Ghanaians.
Yes.
Ghanaians.
Kubolo was here last time and he told me that you had, traveled out and you were doing some concerts. How did it go?
He lives out. He was. Yes, he lives outside.
Oh, M3nsa lives outside.
Yeah, he's not
No,
here.
I collected
so
a small visa, but I
Okay.
overstayed.
Okay.
I just overstayed when I went there, so that's why.
Which country is that?
Charlie.
Burkina.
Is it the drink Burkina or the country?
The country.
Burkina,
Yes.
the country. Right. Okay. Let's continue. We were looking at your songs. We were looking at the Afro Gypsy band. We were not really sure if you were a black gypsy or you are just going to be just another unknown quantity in the gypsy band. What is your role in the Afro Gypsy band?
Wanlov, please tell me what my role is. Afro Gypsy Band.
The M3nsa has played 2 roles
Okay.
in the Afro Gypsy band. The first role was we're doing a national tour, and at one of the stops where we're going to perform, they made posters with his picture. So we got there, we just saw M3nsa's face everywhere. M3nsa was somewhere else. And then the last show of the Afro Gypsy tour in Romania, M3nsa actually showed up, and over there it was just a picture of a dead goat on the posters.
Which one?
No, but M3nsa has performed with Afro Gypsy band once
As a bassist.
as a bass
Okay. On a bass,
keyboardist.
bass
Keyboard.
keyboardist.
Yeah.
But
You wanted full bass. And and a poster boy for the band.
That's my only purpose.
poster boy.
Yeah.
Great. That brings us to image. A lot of artists say, look, you need to create an image. Your image can either make or break you. How important is that to FOKM boys? How important is image to FOKM boys?
Our image we've put out is an image which portrays that we are not that concerned about our image.
Yes.
So
Our image is to be imageless, and that's has been our
I see.
image.
That could explain it partly. M3nsa, when you saw on TV, that's TV3, and your brother with less melanin did his thing, pulled out his shillon, did you say, oh my God? Or you said, well, that's my guy.
the way you said my guy.
Guy, I remember
That's my
this.
guy. Remember this?
long.
I remember this long the other night.
No. Actually, the truth of the matter is, I actually never saw that footage.
Oh,
I
okay.
never saw it.
That disappoints me.
Yeah, I never saw it. Sometimes, and the thing is normal. Actually, I think a lot of people actually never saw it. But it's just rumors, news, so on and so forth. Okay,
But I saw
that's
it.
one thing. Oh, did you see it?
I saw it, yes.
Wow, then you are part of the
The
special
rumor
few.
moments, the pressure group.
Yes, the source. But soon after, we had a conference with the Adisado Old Students of California and America, and they said that they were quite disappointed in Wanlov. And I was like, oh yes, why are you disappointed? They said, you can't, as an Adisado student, go on TV and just show that small thing. Next time you have to remove everything and bend down to pick up your coins.
And also smear
Adringo on yourself. Yes. This no word of a lie.
Wow.
That's what the committee.
So I had to apologize.
So you had to apologize to them for
doing
not doing
that.
a full thing.
For not being extreme.
Complete.
Complete. I see.
Is the
Kubolo,
word they used.
any regrets?
I've disappointed the other school guys. I should
I
have
see.
smeared oil, reused oil,
Adringo.
several times fried.
You know, you guys have been doing tours, and the last time Kubolo was in the studio, we're talking about his tours, and he was dropping names like Ama Taedu, Wole Soyinka, and you can see that these are big time tours. But I have discovered that when a lot of Ghanaian artists go on tour, they usually go to perform to Ghanaian communities, usually grilling barbecues at a weekend or somebody's son's birthday party, and then they go and they come back and say, we've been on tour, we've toured Europe. What's your advice on touring?
They are right in that sense, and we would like to do more of those barbecue ones, those parties, because those ones pay very nicely also, and it's more enjoyment. At this point, it's very petty for us to even get into that, because you can go and perform at a Ghanaian party and there can be 1, 5, 10, 15 non-Ghanaians there. So in a way it's an international show, and you can go and perform at a festival and there can be 1, 5, 10 Ghanaians there. So is it because it passes 50%? That's but we do perform to a much broader audience beyond the Ghanaian community when we travel outside, and we also wish we were also doing. So maybe the artists that are doing more of the Ghanaian based community events around the world are wishing to do what we are doing, but we are also wishing we could also do more of the Ghanaian events. So it's not, I don't see which one is more important than the other at this point.
Because obviously as a musician, I suppose it would be nice for you to have a diverse audience, as diverse as possible. But it's also quite interesting that we would love for Ghanaians to say we go to like a strange place, say we end up in somewhere like Finland, and all the Ghanaians come to this concert is catered to everyone. So it's like, we are loved so much that Ghanaians find us everywhere we go to come to these concerts. So the more diverse it is, the better. But also if there are Ghanaians in there, it's cool. So
because our content is Ghanaian.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
sorry. So just to add this, we enjoy these tours and so on and so forth. But to be honest with you, the most filling shows that we do are the ones here in Ghana. Because of the language, the nuances, the inside jokes, the politics. It's all very. It's catered to our people.
Goat centered.
Yes, it's goat centered. So
Kubolo kept going on about goats. Is there something special about goats we need to know today?
We recently discovered we have a Lazarus goat in Ghana.
A Lazarus
goat.
Lazarus goat.
Yes, a goat that died and woke up again and said, "I'm no longer a dead goat. I'm a living goat."
Lazarus.
And this goat insists on being a goat. Why do you have to be a goat?
Why can't you just be a person?
Yeah, I'm a living person.
You guys, do you ever stop?
Breathing or
I want to share something, please.
Please do.
This morning I went to urinate around 3 a.m. And while I was urinating, a mosquito bit me.
Where?
On it. And I killed the mosquito. And there was blood in my hands.
So.
And I washed my hands. And I came back to sleep.
Okay.
You were saying, sorry, please.
Yes, right. Wow. You could say.
Wow.
Anyways, Lazarus goats.
Yeah.
Dead goats, live goats. But I now understand where you are going with that. I wouldn't want to go further. Yeah. So let's go further with our show.
Yes.
Right. You were talking about the fact that you go out there and then you perform in shows where there's a broad spectrum of audience, but most of our local artists go there, and then we have mostly Ghanaians who patronize it. I bring that down to your genre of music, the kind of music you do. What influenced the gypsy style, the Afro gypsy style?
Oh, when we perform, we're not doing that.
You don't do. Okay.
No. We don't do Afro gypsy. That's just a one-off thing. I mean, that's my personal project. And M3nsa happened to be there. When we are performing, our music is gospel porn.
Gospel
porn.
Gospel
porn.
Gospel
porn.
Extra virgin gospel porn, the fresh one kind.
Porn.
Yes.
Is it CORN?
PORN.
Gospel.
Like add
porn
at the end.
What an oxymoron. Gospel and porn joined together.
It's not too.
It's not.
It's not.
All right. Gospel
Actually,
porn. Tell us.
Quite synonymous.
I'm sure someone is listening somewhere and wants to know this new genre called gospel porn.
Even before we go into like the main definitions or open it up, gospel porn, when you look in the Bible, there's at least 30 stories of sexual activities between fathers and their daughters, brothers and sisters. There's a lot of pornography going on in the Bible. Now, fast forward to now, the times we are in now. When the word pornography came about, or when I came into contact with this word, it was because of sexual images, which people were calling pornography, because it was overbearing on the senses, too much skin, too much sex, and so on. So that's a pornography, when something is like just too much. And now for us, there are other pornographies going on, such as war. War is something, which is hard to look at. Pollution is hard to look at. So it's a pornography. All these new excesses in life are pornographies, and we just spread the gospel about these pornographies. That is gospel porn.
Is that not a rather mischievous play with words?
Sex sells.
Sex is mischievous play.
Oh my God. FOKM boys.
Hi.
Anyways, genre of music is
gospel porn.
Gospel porn. Right. Do you have any projects coming soon on gospel porn?
Coming soon on gospel.
Yeah. Yes, that would be
the master debaters.
Yes, a good climax for our conversation.
Yes.
Yes. We're making plans for Cause of Money 3. Working around different things, options, funding, all those kind of things. We have an album that we've been trying to record for the past year
100 years.
And it's like we've actually never done this before. To have an album with all the music ready, the lyrics written, the studio session set up, and still not able to go into the studio to record.
Yeah. Wherever we
We've
are.
Never done this before, yeah.
Is it because you are FOKN or you are just Kubolo boys?
It's the past couple of months or year has been crazy so far as travel, and over here in Ghana, when we get to Ghana, we're just so busy all the time, and then when we are not and we go in the studio, it's light off. So
we tried, and imagine like being in the studio with a generator next door, and you need some quiet. And
I don't think you have to worry too much because Lazarus is now alive, so you may be getting light soon.
This rhetoric, dear.
So you don't have to worry. I'm sure the project will come.
We are worried.
You are
yes.
still.
We are worried. For somebody to say.
I believe, before you even talk, I believe by the time you come up with the album, We Are Ashamed to Be a Ghanaians, your CDs will be left on the shelf because Lazarus has risen.
Going to change something.
Yes.
I know a man who said, I'm no longer going to promise again because every time I promise, I fail. So I'll stop promising. If that's a result for a living human being that millions of people rely on, then we're in trouble. So I don't know if you're bringing a new Lazarus, maybe from Lazarati or something like that. But
Kubala, you think there's no hope?
No. I mean, Ghana will only change with blood or lava. I don't think any other way.
Not
blood, lava, or water. One of those.
none of the three is kind on us.
Yeah, but nature doesn't care about kindness. A volcano is just itself, and it's not because of wickedness that a volcano erupts.
We'll look into that issue in more detail. I'll be playing a song, They Never Go Change, but we'll go on a short break, and then when we come back, we'll look at that. I'll be taking you through the recent phenomena of your colleagues, those in the media, celebrities jumping into the fray of politics, and if that will have any positive impact on the nation's fortunes. We'll be back.
You know they care about light off, they get them a generators. You know they care if the road rough, they get them a Land Cruisers. You know they care about traffic, they get them a police escorts. You know they care about justice, they get them a police and courts. So why they go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, why they for change? I said, you know they care about light off, they get them a generators. You know they care about pipe off, they get them a water tankers. You know they care about traffic, they get them a police escorts. You know they care about justice, they get them a police and courts. So why they go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, why they for change? Cause they never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, like you go change.
They never go change, FOKM boys. But if I hear names like Kwame Jokoto, Kojo Opon Nkrumah, Eric Don Atta, you know, and rumors of Dumelo and the likes of Abeku Santana, who will soon become honorables, FOKM boys, don't you think change is on the way?
Nope.
Oh, that's simple.
Yeah.
These are celebrities, big names. They might soon be joining our lawmaking body, and you think there is no hope?
There isn't. You know, this system of corruption is a big part of its support comes from the West. And so immediately somebody comes into power that actually is looking out for the good of the people. Well, because corporations are ruling the world now. America is owned by corporations. And corporations look out for the interests of the few to the cost of the many. And so immediately someone comes to this resource-rich land into power and now starts to divert, you know, the wealth to the people instead of the corporations which are come here and enjoy shortcuts because of corrupt politicians, because of corrupt authorities and so on. Immediately somebody comes to threaten that system of corruption which the West is a major part of benefiting from. That person will become a target, and we are not as equipped and advanced technologically at this point to be able to counter the measures they can take to take out such a person. I mean, your cell phone can send out a high frequency signal that can just fry your brains. Just, there's so many ways, they can take you out. So if you are coming to affect their money, that's it. And so I don't really see any, even if there's somebody, even if the goat wants to do something good for the country, he will be stopped.
So Wanlov, you're saying cause of money, change no go come.
Yeah.
M3nsa,
Yeah.
I hear names like Kojo Upon Nkrumah, I hear names like Alassane Suhene. These guys have been critical of the political system, asking the very important questions on radio, and they want to move into the legislature. You also believe that they can't effect any meaningful change?
First of all, I don't know who these people are.
Oh, sad.
I've never heard of them before.
Oh, Kojo Upon Nkrumah,
No.
a very popular morning show host. Alassane Suhene.
Popular already.
How about Kwame Jokoto?
It's like you're enjoying the sensation of things. Really, I don't. You see, Wanlov makes an important point, but for me, how do you make any changes for a country that does not? First of all, like, we don't even know our rights. We don't even know our responsibilities. We don't take responsibility for anything as a people. Just as a people, we are a people who still believe in bogus religions. We are being miseducated from day one. Priority in education, all those things. We don't have those. That infrastructure is not there. So even if there's a chance for change, it's just not going to happen because we have to reverse a lot of things.
Right.
The way my children will be educated is already going to cost the country. The way my children see their responsibility in the country, the jobs that their duty in a country has to change. If that doesn't change, nothing is going to change. So it starts from grassroots, from the bottom. I mean, that's how I feel anyway, and I feel like we're too far gone. There's nothing is going to happen. It's like, even like this, sorry, and I don't want to digress, but this whole thing about eating well and those kind of things. It's like, if we as a people 200 years or 300 years ago were eating the way that now the richest people on the planet are trying to eat, telling us to go and eat organic food, when we were actually eating organic food, not frying our food, and then the supermarkets came and said, no, don't worry, we'll prepare the food for you, just buy from us. And then the food now became more expensive, even worse for your health. And now they're coming back to tell you that go back to eat the food that you're eating before, because that's better for you, but now it's going to cost you 10 times more. You see what I mean? And it's like these kind of mentalities, like we have such, I don't like to think about it, really. I don't. There's nothing we can do. And it's like now that's why everybody's like, each one for themselves.
But Wanlov, sometimes when you think about problems, you might throw your hands up in despair.
Yeah.
But I believe in solutions. Once upon a time, we were in very dire straits as a country. We were not allowed to visit even some locations in our own cities like Accra. We had colonial masters who had, the whip on us 24 hours. Then a young man woke up one morning from the UK, at schooled in the US, and came and said, look, excuse my words, but he said, this nonsense must stop. And eventually we became independent. Mm-hmm. He sent us on a very good path. He got killed eventually.
Yes.
But he stood for something.
By who?
You said?
By who?
Well,
you see the problem.
The point I'm making is we need people who can sacrifice. If at least we can, for every generation, we can get an Nkrumah, or we can get.
Sad to say, Kwame Nkrumah was a puppet.
Okay.
He was put into power because the British realized they are finished implementing their systems, their court systems. The gold is coming to them. Everything was in place. So here, have this houseboy to look after our Ghana for us. Ghana still belongs to the Queen of England, because we are still functioning. We are still wearing the white wigs on our head. So Kwame Nkrumah, he realized that, and he, like these guys you have hope in, tried to start implementing Africanness. He started making African programs. He wanted people to become more aware about themselves. So he started fighting for Africa. Immediately he set up this Volta and their Heart Court, or he got their attention. Started setting up Bui Dam. They started building a nuclear place. They say, hey, this guy is coming to compete with us economically.
The houseboy is growing wings.
Malcolm X was insulting Americans for decades. Insulting them, blue eye, white devil, this, all these things. They didn't do anything to him. As soon as he came to meet Nkrumah, when he came here with Martin Luther King and said, let African Americans and Africans start dealing economically with each other, they took him out. So we are talking about these powers, we are talking about these mega powers that are controlling our resources, and we've let them in a long time ago. So now we can just wait for Mother Nature to reset.
But,
that's all.
Yes, but if you come from that premise, people will tell you that countries like Botswana are making progress now, Mauritius, they are making progress. So why can't we do it?
What did they go through before that?
Well, they had to, shed some blood.
Some.
Yeah. Well,
look at Rwanda now. They ban plastic. Wi-Fi is almost everywhere, so on and so forth. But look what they went through to get there.
So you guys think that the only hope is a major Armageddon?
Some kind of disaster has to snap us back to a certain reality.
You don't think there can be a group of people, citizens, who will start rethinking our ways and then institute that change? It may be radical though, but without the bloodshed.
The tools which were left for us by the colonials. Guggisberg Hall is still standing there. We are still calling some place McCarthy Hill. We are still calling some place Jamestown. The tools, the system is still there. Unless that system is totally destroyed and rebuilt in our own way.
Can't we?
How ridiculous let me ask you a question. How ridiculous do you think? How many Ghanaians would accept if we said we have to ban Christianity in this country?
You think Christianity is the cause of our problems?
Oh, Charlie.
Christianity was used to enslave us.
Is this a question? I'm just saying, how many Ghanaians do you think will accept because when we say let's ban Christianity in this country?
Because we can only ban Christianity if we accept that it's a cause of our problems.
Okay, so if one
how can we process that?
Yeah.
We don't have the means, the capacity to process. We are chew and pour, copy and paste. So we listen to what somebody has told us. And one of the reasons why Christianity is a big problem is that it puts one of the highest powers that we think is the highest power
above.
The highest, one of the highest things we look up to is a white person in the form of Jesus, and heaven is a place full of white people. So that alone right there is crippling to our minds.
Okay, M3nsa and Kubolo,
yes,
you know our problems, and I appreciate where you are coming from. I'm giving you a scenario. You are my revolutionaries. you are the leaders of a new paradigm. Okay. You want change because change is good. As gory as it may sound, what would you propose that we do to revamp this whole system and start anew? M3nsa.
Ban Christianity.
Ban Christianity, is that all you want?
Ban, ban, yes, but...
Look,
before we ban them, they have to pay. They need, you see, churches cannot be in public space. When I say public, in residential areas. They need to have their own place that you travel to and go there. Churches are supposed to be special places. So if a church is next to a disco and churches are around people's houses and so on. So if you want to worship, it has to be in a certain place. And these guys have to pay taxes. If you are going to function, because we don't want, yes, the main, what M3nsa is saying is the best, it's like cold turkey on a drug addict. You just cut everything. But then, when ban Christianity,
they will come after you.
Ban Islam, just ban all religion.
You see, I just want to clarify something. It's not just like I'm not just here making some kind of sensationalist statements or whatnot. The idea behind it is that, there's a difference between religion and spirituality.
Okay,
it's two very different things. Now, the concept or the majority of Christians right now has nothing to do with spirituality, has nothing to do with actual self-betterment, has nothing to do with educating yourself, knowing yourself, and being your fullest potential. Has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. Anybody that you speak to is looking either to die and go to heaven, not find the heaven here, looking for better ways or looking for easier ways to make money for a better life without, you come out of church and you're drinking your pure water and you throw it right there in the gutter, right there, and you are still praying to Jesus to go to heaven. You see the mentality?
Yes, but some people argue that it is
why
some
is it that the
ethics we
people
don't
who
have.
brought Christianity to us no longer care about it? The people who introduced it to us don't care about it. They are now going back to what we believed in before. Our knowledge about nature, our common sense. They are now going back to that too. All those chicken fried and all those kind of things. They are telling us now they don't want it anymore.
Right.
We have now taken it.
M3nsa and Kubolo, I believe in one thing.
Yes.
That humans as we are, if we don't look up to a bigger ethos, if we don't have any ethics or moral concepts to guide us, we'll regress back to our basic instincts and we'll be killing and eating each other.
The Christians were the ones killing each other. The Muslims were the ones killing each other.
If you look at the history of Africans, if you look at the history of Africans, 1,000 years back, there's no culture or there's no race of people that gave the level of respect and level of deity to women. There's no culture that beats that. We have the most respect for women, most love for family. Look, this idea of democracy was already, Ashantis were already practicing that. Egypt, all these places, they were already doing that. It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
So we should ban Christianity.
Oh, Charlie. I think,
but you see, when we look at Christianity, there are a lot of things that we look at when we look at Christianity.
We don't have the mental capacity to discern. We haven't been raised to think, to choose within this religion to see what works, what doesn't work, what is being put there to blind us, and so on. So it needs to be done away. We are children, so it's like we are in a room, children with fire around us, and the parents are outside expecting us to be able to sort out this problem with fire when we don't have a concept.
More of religious education rather than outright banning.
If there's true religious education, Christianity itself would wane away, because when you realize where these religions come from, the source of them, all these religions will just dissipate.
Right. So one of your ways by which Ghana can truly revolutionize is to ban Christianity. Another one?
Oh, I think
ban plastic, definitely.
I can agree with that. Yes. Any other?
I think that we should also start focusing more. I think it's happening now, but also on our language, our traditional beliefs, our cultures, our foods, all those kind of things. Just really find a way of really making those things cool again. You know, I can't believe that when I was in school, I would get beaten for speaking vernacular or speaking pidgin English. You know, those are the things that just our Anglophile nature has to stop. But Charlie, I mean, all these things, Charlie, I think we also need to reassess our education system as well. You know, a lot of us went through school chewing and pouring, not really understanding what was happening.
Yes, but there's a strange phenomenon. We all criticize our educational system.
Yes.
We all criticize the cultural setup.
Yes.
And then we say, look, this thing is not working. It beats my mind. If this setup was that terrible, how are we able to get the epiphany that even what we are in is bad? Because usually when you're in a system, you are usually a part of that whole system, so you can't really tell the wrongs. If we or if you two are able come out of this same system and you're able to tell that there's something wrong with the system, it means that there's some inherent, benefits or advantages.
No, because we have a reference point.
Okay.
You know, it's not like we don't have a history. We have a history of when things were different and the way things are now. If you say we're stuck in a system and we can't see what's be objective about things, then that's different. But we have a reference point. You know,
what is your reference point? What are you comparing our noun to?
If you are able to speak more than one language, your brain actually is functioning better.
Okay.
Right? Is that not it?
Yes. It opens up.
You know, what Nkrumah did. One of the coolest things that I think Nkrumah did was to decentralize education. You know, to
the houseboy. According to Wanlov Kubolo. The same Nkrumah was
the houseboy.
He was taking
but
care of.
He started.
No, obviously
he started growing
fighting
wings.
for
and
Africans,
that's why he was taken out.
Okay.
You know, so if you are in Accra, you go to school here. If you want to go to secondary school, you go to Cape Coast.
Okay.
You meet the Cape Coastians, and you start interacting, you intermarry languages, all those kind of things. It's like we're spreading culture. For me, I just feel like we are so. It's like the more non-Ghanaian you are, the better it is. The more foreign in your ways, the more extravagant and all these kind of things. And it's like our basic the fundamentals are not taken care of. That's for me. That's all it is. We can be as global as international as possible, but to have identity, we don't really. And that's why. And I keep digressing. I keep touching on different things, but also I feel like that's probably why FOKM Boys is accepted the way we are outside the country, because we're just bringing what is Ghanaian, you know. And that's what people want to see, you know. So for me, I feel like we should have a bit more pride in what we had before, you know. Anyway,
right.
I'm
Interesting.
I think a flood is best.
A flood. So that's water. He said lava, fire, or water. So
I'm confused right now. I don't have answers.
But
I know that we are suffering.
Okay, to taunt you or to, I mean, the Bible said that God will not destroy the world with water again. So flood, dear, forget.
Oh, okay. Okay. I clap for yourself.
The Bible also said that.
So many floods, tsunami in Malaysia, all this, Charlie. So the Bible is the old newspaper, in the words of Panji, the old newspaper.
But I look at this story. The Bible said that God cleared the earth of all sin with the flood. And then after the flood, human beings came back and there was still sin. So it was cause 90.
Yes.
So God has made a mistake.
No.
If you are clearing some place of sin, and after you've cleared it,
he didn't know. God didn't know.
Sorry,
God didn't know. He didn't know that it won't work. He tried. He tried Lotu.
So he's not all knowing.
He's not. Sometimes he's not sure. He knows all the time, but sometimes he doesn't know all the time that he doesn't know what he knows.
You two are blasphemous.
Really?
You will go to hell.
Hell is a nice place.
Anyways, that's been a very mind-provoking conversation. I hope and seriously hope people will take it for what it is. They will be able to digest it and take the.
Your questions have really confused me, man.
I mean,
you ever get confused?
The last thing I can say is this: if there are monkeys up a tree, and you want to get up there in this tall tree to go and take these monkeys down, which is the system. You have to learn to become a monkey to climb the tree like them.
What if I cut down the tree?
Or cut down the tree?
No, we are not taught to think like that. So the tree has to be cut down. So you can't go and join the other monkeys
and try and
tell let's go down, because once you are there, you're a monkey too and you are enjoying up there.
So you think the celebrities who want to go into parliament will make no...
Charlie, everybody in Ghana is waiting for their turn to be the oppressor that is oppressing them at the moment. We are just waiting for our turn.
It will change, I believe, by
It will.
By
God's grace.
Yes.
In God's time.
Keep hope alive.
In God's grace.
Amen.
By God's time.
Anyways, let's go back to the business of the day. Cost of money. Yes, you were telling me about the new one that is coming up that you've done some works on and have fatigued and lapsed into religious laziness and didn't continue with the work. But before we touch on that one, let's look at the last two. I realized you had a mode of structuring the entire Cost of Money series. You pursue a particular theme, and then when you get to your thesis end, you guys are very stubborn, so you usually get into trouble. And when you're in serious trouble, you transcend into a sort of dream, and all sorts of funny things happen in the dream. What informed that whole concept?
It was a mistake. Really. I mean, when M3nsa and I reunited after 10 years of at this school through M3nsa, we wrote 2 songs. One was Thank You and one was Sometimes. And these were very conscious. We were really thinking to Ghana. We're just doing 2 songs, and our mind state at the time was just this kind of conscious, uplifting the minds of our people state. And then we met again a few months later in Los Angeles and decided we want to do an album, and we want it to be a story that takes place in a day in the life of 2 Ghanaian boys. And as we started recording this album, where like each song is one part of the day onto the next and so on, we thought like these 2 songs we did are really good. What do we do with them? We can't just leave them. So then we created a scene where we pass out and go into this dream state where we become these conscious people.
Wow.
And so when we're doing the second one, we just decided we have to, do that kind of dreams. It was something, a signature, something special.
Yes.
So I'm sure even the third one we'll repeat.
It's like a serendipity discovery by accident.
Yeah, and the second one, you see, we took you to a whole different world.
Yes.
Just because we wanted to keep up with the kind of the dream theme, we actually traveled all the way to Europe,
Transylvania, to Dracula's castle.
Yes, to shoot that scene.
And Count Dracula himself is got dreadlocks.
Yes. Count Dreadkula. Yes.
Count Dreadlock. And Count what?
Dreadkula.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, you see. So now my eyes open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Count Dreadkula and M3nsa.
Yes.
You thought you would make a nice bat meat soup or dankwansere soup.
Yes.
Anyways, let's move on. Okay, no. Where is right? The issue of trying to represent the nuances in our society in is it a cantata? Because cantata is acting where you have music associated with it. So Cause of Money can be described as a sort of cantata. Yes. There was the scene. Yes, there was the scene about a police officer who was trying to extort.
2 police officers.
Yes.
Police no good.
Yes.
Played by
the only part that my concern is you guys didn't seem to be condemning the police outright. You seem to be sympathizing with them too. Why? Because they were doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, but also because they're humans just like us, and it's necessity that sometimes causes us to do these things.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a setup. It's a setup, and a lot of songs we do, we have these kind of setups in there where when you hear the title audio, you just hear police no good, which makes you think we are saying the police are not good. But we've written the police KNOW good. So they know good.
What's good?
That is what we are saying, and that's the title of the song. No.
Like I said, it's not like always seeing things from one side, like they're corrupt and so on and so forth.
Yes, that's you have to get. Yes,
it's not. We didn't mislead you, but we kind of left some under. Some other things for you to discover, and that's the good thing about like watching films. It's like every time you watch it over and over, you start discovering.
But it's your mind that took you there because you are thinking the police are not good, and that's what we are saying. But when you do some research to say, do they actually say that? Because there's not only one word that sounds like no, the NO. There's also the KNW. So you have to do some small research to see what we are talking about. So we say the police know good, KNOW. They are aware of the good. But it's not good for police.
So the police know what's the right thing to do.
But the system is
times
not
are
right
hard for them.
Police.
Yes. That's right. So we're not condemning the police.
I see. We'll continue with Cause of Money, but we'll take a break and then we'll play one of the songs on that series. It's called We Did Thank You.
Yes,
who are you thanking anyways?
That's from Cause of Money 1.
Are you thanking God?
It's a song that we're thanking our gods.
Yeah, gods.
A song paying tribute to all our
ancestors that fought for us.
Is
Kwame Nkrumah one of them?
Definitely.
Yeah. So he's one of your gods.
Yes.
He's more important than any white god that has been introduced to us.
Yeah.
On that note, we take a break. We did thank you from M3nsa and Kubalov, the FOKM boys.
This is 93.1 FM.
We'd like to meet you, so
like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio XYZ 93.1 FM. Write something cool on our timeline. We will love it.
Be like, man reach the age to reflect on more things, to see past your features and the colors of your skin. I force travel small way, I see the hustlings of the people, the women, then they're my offsprings. Make how they ask questions, man for do something to contribute, to build positive construction. I no go sit here and make like I be some goody two shoes, so I they come save the world like some Scooby-Doo dude. I get my own ways, more times man they forgetting blessing for being here today. We they forget say we get mission way they take the play. Look when I lead us, look when I teach us. Look all these so-called friends them say they can't believe us. Many hundred years ago they come in the name of Jesus. The same people turn around and enslave non-believers along with their believers. The same thing they happen to they headed by strong deceivers. I still be very inspired even though oppressors screw up. We all fit do something if one person fit do one. My spirit is very high even though they go fit you come. We all fit do something if these people fit do one.
Patrice Lumumba, Mbuya Nehanda, Nzinga, we did thank you.
Behanzi, Imote, Shaka Dezu,
We did thank you. Tenkamene, Makida, Martin Luther King,
we did thank you. Frederick Douglass, Bob Marley, Joseph Hill,
we did thank you. Motimo Plano, Mahatma Gandhi, Mama Teresa, we did thank you.
Malcolm X, Booker T, Dubois,
we did thank you. Natena, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, we did thank you.
Yasantua, Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie,
we did thank you. Langston Hughes, Neil Hurston, Louis Armstrong, we did thank you.
Rosa Parks, Philip Randolph, Cheikh Anta Diop,
thank you. Kwame Nkrumah, Michael Jackson, Steve Biko, we did thank you.
Fred Hampton, Thomas Sankara, Peter Tosh,
we did thank you. James Brown, John Brown, Lucky Dube, I did thank you.
Fela Kuti, Efrimamu, Bob Cole,
we did thank you. Faisal Hewani, Nat King Cole, Nina Simone, we did thank you. More power to the people, we all be one people, we be equal, we no be feeble. The camel enter the eye of the needle, make you no sit your butt, stop the wedding so-called leaders. So coliko puppets be led with strings by them to mislead us. You for make the best in life.
Right, Tenkamene, Malcolm X, Dubois, Ephraim Amuya, Santua, Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, Kwame Nkrumah. FOKM boys say they thank you. You're still on the frequency 93.1 megahertz. My name is Jason Tutu, and it is the XYZ Breakfast Show. We're about to bring the show to an end, but in the studio with me, I have M3nsa and then Kubolo. We've been talking and touching on very sensitive issues, but I think they want to sort of instigate a kind of mental revolution in our country. I hope you understand. M3nsa,
Yes, sir.
Cause of Money 3. You were telling us about how it started and then it ended up on the shelves like the Freedom of Information Bill in Ghana's parliament. Tell us.
Hey, this guy,
How
you get
soon?
punchlines.
How soon should your fans expect Cause of Money 3? And tell us the dynamics, what's the whole buzz surrounding it, what is new? I know you'll definitely be dreaming in it.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's very likely to we'll start shooting maybe mid next year. We're trying to shoot the whole story outside of Ghana, possibly Nigeria.
Okay.
So
Hey, Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're venturing into the big woods. So obviously we'll have some strong Nigerian characters, some Nigerian musicians, also with maybe some Ghanaian musicians and so forth. But we're trying to kind of step out of Ghana a bit more with that. It's just that Nigeria has been such a great place for us. An eye-opening place for. It's like we've played a few places in Africa, but actually in the world, Nigeria is one of our favorite places ever to perform.
Isn't it an irony?
It is. And if we go on stage and we don't perform, thank God we're Nigerians. We're not Nigerians. We're in trouble.
Wow.
The first time we performed, it was at Celebration. Yes.
Celebration of Fela Kuti.
Of Fela Kuti,
Okay.
where we had about 5,000 people in the audience and an extra 3,000 outside.
Wow.
And they seem to get the song. They seem to understand it more so than us here in Ghana.
You think Ghanaians were too sensitive? We wear our hats on our sleeves more than the Nigerians?
Perhaps we're also a bit self-righteous.
We fear offending more than death.
Yeah.
It's natural human.
Yeah, like, but we are like the flag bearers of fearing to offend more than fearing to die.
It's,
Wow.
it's the religiosity.
Wanlov, can you give us any lighter mood? I don't mean by your skin or your complexion, but any.
Because that one, dear, you are the less
any-
melanated guy
Yes.
among the two of us.
Any lighter note on
So if you are
the
eating
Cause of
meat, I
Money
get the
album?
big part.
Oh, and the film?
Yes.
Oh. I mean, the title is Lost in Lagos,
Okay.
and there's another light-skinned person,
Yes.
Another less.
another less melanated
melanated.
person in the
Mm.
film, which is quite famous
Yes.
worldwide and in Nigeria as well.
Yes.
And yeah,
Is
that's
it-
a lighter.
Yeah. What's his name, if you don't mind?
Her name is.
Her name is a she.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm sure kids might have an idea who that is. She's lighter, natural hair.
Nigerian. Lighter.
No,
Lighter.
Because you look like Asa small, you want to be. To
You
be
want
hair.
to start to be so people confuse you for
Kids, you know your life.
You know your style. But heck, right?
Okay.
Okay, before we start mentioning this, the power of Jesus has taken over. So.
It's true. But we've already
So-
recorded her part.
So you said next year by the
Yeah, by
mid
summer
next year.
we should. Yeah,
Summer next year, that's
yeah,
around
we should be
June.
filming or done filming.
July. Done filming. So when should
Yeah.
when would it hit the markets? When would it be? on the
Usually
shelves?
end of the year.
Yeah.
That's how we've been
November.
doing the.
Yeah.
You know, that brings me to an interesting question. How does music distribution and sales work in Ghana, and how do you do yours?
We don't know the
Walk
meaning
around.
of your question.
Walk around.
Okay, how do you sell or peddle your music in Ghana?
From our bags, I have a couple of copies
guys
of our
want to
film
buy
here. We sell it. People come up to us, 20 Ghana. They buy it. Sometimes it's on us. Sometimes it's not.
You don't sell in shops and outlets.
No. The last experience we had because of Money One was a fire at Katamanto that burned some copies. And so since then, and then
mall.
at the mall too, is like they'll sell everything.
Business.
They don't tell you in time that it's finished. Then when you're going to get your money, it takes 3 months to get your money. It's just long, man, very long. So we're just like Charlie. And also, I mean, Ghana, it doesn't really matter because nothing. But when you're doing film festivals, it is advised that you do not have the film which you are touring the festivals with commercially available.
Okay.
In Ghana, I don't even know what that means, but yeah, so that's why it's not that out there in a way.
Because we're still doing the festival rounds and so on.
So we will wrap up on this show. I loved it. It was
Enjoyed.
mind-provoking. I'll say again, I hope our listeners also got it in the context in which I got it. But tell us, what should the fans of FOKN Boys be looking out for in the?
They should stop
Yes.
listening to us.
Oh,
Yeah, we want. This is the next. We wanted. When we started, we wanted fans, but fans are not cool weren't cool anymore. Then we wanted air conditions, and
Okay.
air conditions now they can't work because of generators not having enough power and so on. They are breaking down. So now we want snows.
snows.
Yes.
No, I'm lost.
We don't want fans. No, we don't want air cons
Aircons.
anymore. Snows.
But how can it snow in Ghana?
People are wearing jackets.
They're wearing
I get
So
it.
there's some snows around. So we want snows from now on. No more fans, no more air cons.
M3nsa,
Snows.
what do you want from your? Okay, you no longer fans. What do you want from your snows?
one that will survive in this hot weather.
But they will melt.
But we are wearing the jacket.
Oh my God!
So there is no something that we don't know.
There is no.
They know something that we don't.
You don't know. The
Snow.
idea of people wearing black, is a synthetic jackets in 35 degrees Celsius.
I think the
environment.
police should wear like aluminium foil, this thing, because I see the sun hitting them. Okay, the white, I think the white is helping now small. But white aluminium.
Traffic.
Okay, I want us to end
They
the
look like
show.
snowmen as they wear the white patch.
F4KN boys, I would want us to end the show, but I want one word on the future of Ghana from each of you. One word, Kumbolo.
Alansa.
One word, M3nsa.
Augustine Free Ghana. It's a word.
On that note, we bring the breakfast show of today to an end. My producer was Farouk. I was joined earlier by Ransford, Kate, and Jamal to do the newspaper review. My name is Jason Tutu. Catch you next week. Go with God.
Mike, you mean to tell me you were a photo driver and now you're a taxi driver in Ghana?
Yo, did you ever eat a fufu burger? But
Hey,
who pay you? Just please go ahead and get out there.
Don't pay this guy.
Bye-bye,
Mike.
Bye.
You be hard guy, how you know about this place?
It be metal so it tell me where it be my taste. The way they chew the drum safe, Charlie you go bow. George Bush safe come chew some cow. It be who safe I see for here last week. Charlie Mess I promise you, you just go weak.
It be true self, see how she dey washing hands. Everything clean before touching pots and pans. It be good self, say we come this chop bar. Cause the other place we get for Odoko far.
I see the way the pure water chill, the way she dey smile safe. I just dey feel the tables, the napkins be very clean. Where one snack safe, no day on the scene.
See the soup self where the guy they suck for there.
Your phone the ring safe.
Oh, make you come out for there. It be MA, you go one talk, son. I dey hung too much, I mean the chop. We dey wait for one a show. We dey wait, if we keep long we go. Sister good chef, hurry we dey hung. Try to add more coke and let the pepper be strong.